I will talk about tenses. Okay? In this video, we'll know through the picture. On the base of picture, you can understand all parts of tenses. Okay? Now, first you have to know about tense. Meaning of tense. What is tense? A category of verbal inflection expressing the time at, during, or over which a state or action denoted by a verb occurs. Okay? That means it is very clear about tense. It is a verbal expression. Okay? And have to know about time at. Okay? You all have to read the text whatever you are getting on the screen and listen carefully. It will be clear about tense. Now, there are three types of tenses. Now, one is past. As per picture, you can understand present tense, and one is future tense. Past tense, present tense, future tense. Past tense expresses action, activity, and state of being in the past. Okay? It is about past tense. Now, if I'm talking about there are four types of past tense, then first one is simple past tense. Simple past expresses the idea that an action started and finished at a specific time in the past. A specific time in the past. Okay? For example, Henry arrived at the airport. Henry arrived. Not arrived, arrived. Okay? At the airport. Now, I finished my lunch. Finished, went to the beach and found a nice place to swim. Here is finished, went, found. Okay? Now, one more example. Richard studied astronomical engineering for 3 years. Studied. Okay? You all can read the text on the screen. Now, this is Eric was shy as a child, but now he is very outgoing. Was. Okay? Now, these all are the examples of simple past tense. Now, here is dinosaurs were once the dominant terrestrial vertebrate animals. Okay? Here is where you can say. Now, if I'm talking about clauses, then always happen first. Same at the beginning or at the end of sentences of a sentence. Okay, and she answered my question when I paid her $1. When I paid her $1, she answered my question. Okay, on the base of clause, you can understand it also. Now here, she answered my question when I paid her $1. When I paid her $1, she answered my question. Actually, already I have uploaded a video of clauses. Okay. Now, she answered my question when I paid her $1. I paid her $1 when she answered my question. Here, she answered my question, underline, when I paid her $1. Again, I paid her $1 when she answered my question. Now, second part of past tense. Second types of past tense. Past continuous. Use past continuous to indicate that a longer action in the past was interrupted. The interruption is usually a shorter action in the simple past tense. Okay. Now, for example, we were driving through the desert when our car suddenly broke down. Okay. This one is example of past continuous tense. And you can understand clearly. When I walked into the office, several people were busily typing. Some were talking on the phones, the boss was yelling, and customers were waiting to be helped. Now, third types of past tense. Past perfect tense. The past perfect expresses the idea that something occurred before another action in the past. It can also show the something happened before a specific time in the past. For example, Johnny knew Istanbul so well because he had visited the city several times. Okay? Now, they felt bad about selling the house because they had. You have to keep in your mind, had. Okay, in the past, had the third form of verb, owned. Had third form of verb, owned it for more than 40 years. She never saw a beer before she moved to Alaska. If the past perfect is not referring to an action at the specific time, past perfect is compulsory. Here, past perfect is referring to a lack of experience rather than an action at a specific time. For the reason, simple past cannot be used. She had never seen a bear before she moved to Alaska. Okay. Now, third types of past tense. Okay, no third. Third, I have explained. Now this is fourth. There are four types of past tense. Three explained already. Now this is fourth. Past perfect continuous. So that something started in the past and continued up until another time in the past. Started in the past and continued up until another time in the past. For example, James had been teaching, had been. That means you have to use been with has and verb with ing at the university for more than a year before he left for Asia. Okay. Now the motorcycle had been belonging to George for years before Tina bought it. Now, non-continuous verb cannot be used in any continuous tenses. Also, such a non-continuous meaning for mixed verbs cannot be used in the continuous tenses. Instead of using past perfect continuous with these verbs, you must use past perfect. The motorcycle had belonged to George for years before Tina bought it. Okay, so you can clear past tense. Now, non-continuous verbs are usually things you cannot see somebody doing. These verbs are rarely used in continuous tense. Now, mixed verbs have more than one meaning. In a way, each meaning is a unique verb, and some meaning we have like non-continuous verbs, while other meaning we have like normal verbs. Now I am talking about present tense. I have told you, I have explained uh, past tense. Now I am talking about present tense. First, we have to know about present tense. It expresses action, activity, and a state of being in the present. Okay, I am talking about in the present. Now, simple present tense. Simple present tense use the it is used to express the idea that an action is repeated or usual. Okay. Now, for example, I eat breakfast every morning at 6:30. I go to work every day. The earth revolves around the sun. These all are examples of simple present tense. Okay. Use the present continuous. Now next one is present continuous tense with no verbs to express the idea that something is happening now. Something is happening now at this very moment. It can also be used to show that something is not happening now. For example, I am sitting down because I am tired. I am sitting. I, then auxiliary verb is am are whatever is as per subject. Then main verb with ing. Sitting. done because I am tired. Now, Sally is studying really hard for her exams this week. Sally is studying. Sally is singular. Okay, then is studying. Now, I am seeing my dentist on Wednesday. I am seeing my dentist on Wednesday. She is loving this chocolate ice cream. It is important to remember that non-continuous verbs cannot be used in any continuous tenses. Also, such a non-continuous meaning for mixed verbs cannot be used in continuous tenses. Instead of using present continuous with this verb, you must use simple present. She loves this chocolate ice cream. Okay? So you can differentiate also and you can clear your concept now. Now, third, present perfect tense. Present perfect tense. Use present perfect to express action that has been completed with respect to the present. That means I'm talking about present time and it has been completed. For example, I have already seen. Have you have to use as per according to subject you have to change. Has or have you have to use and verb third form already seen. I have already seen that film. I don't want to see it again. I went to Mexico last year. I went to Mexico last year, but here is went, not present uh, continuous. Okay, go, went, gone. I have gone, but I have given here sentence. I went to Mexico last year. I have been to Mexico in the last year. I went to Mexico in the calendar year before this one. I went to Mexico last year. Okay, so I will talk about everything. Here I have given, I have been to Mexico at last once at some point between 365 days ago now. I have been. It is used, I have been used, present, perfect, continuous. Okay? Have been, has been to Mexico in the last year. Now, use perfect continuous tense. Now, you have to know about present perfect continuous. I have given different sentences also, you have seen. But I am coming one by one, okay? And here I am going to explain one by one. Now, present perfect continuous to refer to an event that may or may not be finished when its effect can be seen now. It is about present perfect continuous. For example, it has been, look, it has been showing. Okay, has been you have to use. Sam has been having his car for 2 years. Okay, has been you have to use and verb with ing. It is important to remember that non-continuous verb cannot be used in any continuous tenses. Also, such a non-continuous meaning for mixed verbs cannot be used in continuous tenses. Instead of using present perfect continuous, with this verb you must use present perfect. Okay? Has had. Sam has had his car for 2 years. No. No, I'm talking about already have explained uh, past tense, then present. Now I'm talking about future tense. Future tense expresses action, activity, and a state of being in the future, not in the past, not in the present. In the future, it expresses action, activity, and a state of being in the future. First, simple future tense. Simple future has two different forms in English, will and be going to. Will and be going to. Both will and be going to refer to a specific time in the future. For example, I am elected President of the United States. If I am elected President of the United States, okay, but here written I am, but before that if is written. If I am elected president of the United States, I will make sure everyone has access to inexpensive health insurance. I repeat, If I am elected president of the United States, I will make sure everyone has access to inexpensive health insurance. Okay? When you will arrive tonight, you will go out for dinner. No, no future in time clauses like all future form. The simple future cannot be used in the clauses beginning with time expressions such as when, while, before, after, by the time, as soon as, if, unless, anymore. And instead of simple future, simple present is used. You have to keep in mind. Okay, when you will arrive, when you will arrive tonight, we will go out for dinner. No. Next, future tense, future perfect tense. Simple future have to complete it. Now, future perfect expresses the idea that something will occur before another. Something will occur before another action in the future. It can also show that something will happen before a specific time in the future. That means it is very clear about future perfect tense. Now, if I'm talking about example, then you are going to have perfected your Chinese by the time you come back from China. You are going to have perfected your Chinese by the time you come back from China. Okay? Future continuous has two different forms. Okay? Now, this is future continuous has two different forms will be doing and be going to be doing. Already I have told. Now, I am going to be staying at the Madison Hotel. I am going to be staying at the Madison Hotel. If anything happens and you need to contact me. Now, at midnight tonight, at midnight tonight, we will still be driving through the desert. No, tonight they will be eating dinner. Tonight they will be eating dinner, discussing their plans and having a good time. With this type of sentences, you can clear your concept and you can understand. When I arrive at the party, everybody is going to be celebrating, some will be dancing, others are going to be talking, a few people will be eating pizza, and several people are going to be drinking beer. They always do the same thing. Okay? Now I'm talking about future tense. You have to keep in your mind. Okay. Actually, this picture is showing atmosphere in the future. Now, while I am going to be finishing my homework, she is going to make dinner. Here is a sentence. Okay. Like all future tenses, in the future continuous can be used in the clauses beginning with time experience expression and such as when, while, before, after, by the time, as soon as, if, unless. Instead of the future continuous, present continuous is used here. The sentence, while I am finishing my homework, she is going to make dinner. Okay. Now, future perfect continuous. This is last. Okay, future perfect continuous tenses you have to know, and it has two different forms will have been doing and be going to have been doing. I repeat, will have been doing and be going to have been doing. Going out of business, it is the not our text, my text, it is picture text. Okay, she is going to have, she is going to have been working at that company for 3 years when it finally closes. Now, Clarence English will be perfect when he returns to Germany because he is going to have been studying English in the United States for over 2 years. Okay. Now, future continuous. This sentence emphasizes that he will be tired because he will be exercising at that exact moment in the future. Okay. In the next sentence, he will be tired because he will be exercising so hard. And if I'm talking about next sentence, then he will be tired because he will have been exercising so hard. So, future perfect continuous. These sentences This sentence first, he will be at last sentence, he will be tired because he will have been exercising so hard, future perfect continuous tense. And this sentence emphasizes that he will be tired because he will have been exercising for a period of time. It is possible that he will still be exercising at that moment, or that he will just have finished. Okay, so here now you will not want to get a promotion until you will have been working here as long as team. Okay, now like all future forms, the future perfect continuous cannot be used in clauses beginning with time expressions such as when, while, before, after, by the time, as soon as, if, unless, etc. Many more. Okay, and instead of future perfect continuous, present perfect continuous is used. Here is a sentence. For example, you won't get a promotion until you have been working. You have been working here as long as team. Okay. Hope you can clear your concept regarding sentences. Thank you. Thank you so much.